Your favorite mainstream news articles are saying Bitcoin is going to 10K. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are, whenever you are. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Davinci Jeremy. I'm in the pipe 5x5, man. It's so funny how the world is, right? The media, right? Everything in the media is telling you to do the opposite, basically. They always tell you to do the opposite of what you should be doing, right? And that should be DCing into Bitcoin, of course, right? And that's effectively why I called Bloomberg Intelligence an oxymoron, right? What is an oxymoron? Well, for those that don't know, an oxymoron is a figure of speech where two contradictory ideas combined often highlight something illogical or absurd. Yes. For those who listen to the media, right, it's illogical and absurd, right, to pay attention to the media. Why is that? Why is that the case? Was this a new phenomenon? In this particular time in history, are people really that bad? No. They're just the same as before. I mean, this has always been the case, right? The fact that you don't know that is the problem. Right? So, for example, right? How do I know that it's always been the case? Because there's a lot of people who've talked about this throughout history. Mark Twain is famous for saying, those who do not read the newspaper are uninformed, right? And those who do read the newspaper are misinformed. Ta-da! There it is. There it is. Okay? In black and white. In fact, you could read JP Morgan's memoirs. He says, okay, listen, I need to change everybody's perceptions about, politics, banking, and all that kind of stuff. I need to buy up all the newspapers and get them to do what I say. He wrote that, right? And he did it. And yet most y'all, 99% of y'all, bet you 99% of who's watching this video right now, look at the news and go, yeah, truth. Yeah, look, man, this is what's going on. Yes. There you have it, right? I mean, even I did it, right? Because before I understood what was truly going on. So, don't say you're not, okay? The only people who don't listen to the news and understand that it's all lies is people in Russia, right? They understand, right? But you guys still believe you're living in that bubble that there's somebody actually taking care of you. With that said, let's move on to the Forbes news article, right? And you're like, oh, didn't you say Bloomberg? Hold on. A series 2026 $3 trillion crypto collapse Fed warning issued. $10,000 Bitcoin price predicted as crash. Fears swirl. Dum. Okay. Bitcoin's rally above 100K may have sparked a cycle back to 10K, potentially in 2026. Mike is saying, senior commodities strategist at Bloomberg Intelligence. Yes, commodities strategist. Okay, another oxymoron. Mike, a commodities strategist, is another oxymoron. Obviously, he doesn't know how to strategize himself out of a cornflakes box, but whatever. Is Bitcoin going to go down? Yes. Is it going to go all the way down to 10K? It's redonkulous, right? That's redonkulous. Why is that? Unless there's something fundamentally wrong with Bitcoin, which there isn't, right? There's no chance of the 10K price. Okay? So, with that said, why? Because there's a lot of people like myself, Michael Saylor, who understand one thing. That is, let me explain it to you. Come on. That is, Bitcoin is going to be money. Why? Why is it going to be money? Well, do you want to have a borderless money where no one can stop you from transferring it to somebody? Well, no one can stop me now. Hold on, Doug. No. Don't even go there, right? Wire transfers can be stopped, right? They can reverse that transaction, no problem. Don't even go there. Okay, that said, yeah, somebody might want to have the ability to use money without somebody telling them they can't. They can block them from using that money, large sums of money too. Wouldn't that be a cool feature to have? Yeah, it would be, right? That's why Bitcoin will be used as money. Also, wouldn't it be a cool feature that instead of trying to like always gamble on, bonds or stocks or whatever, in order to increase your wealth, just store it in Bitcoin, which is actually money. And then it increases automatically because humans innovate. And so the money gets more valuable because we make things cheaper. Wouldn't that be cool to have money just with zero risk, right? Well, almost zero, because nothing's absolute zero risk, right? Because, if a killing asteroid comes, then that's gonna end the situation a little bit. Same with a nuclear war. So no guarantees, of course, no 100% guarantees. But barring those huge events, you want something safe, something that's going to last, something that you can plan and know that in the future it will be worth more, not less. That's Bitcoin. Then you want it to be, transferable anywhere, not only on this planet, but anywhere on Mars or on the moon. I think Bitcoin accomplishes that because it's just a communications protocol, means of communicating value. That could work. So if you understand all these things, right, then you understand that Bitcoin will be money. And there's a lot more features about Bitcoin, of course. It's fungible, divisible, right? All kinds of other features, right? Programmable. Those are extras, cherries on top, sort of like when we first invented electricity, right? It was like, okay, I'll use it for lights. Yeah, but it can do a lot more. And that's what Bitcoin can do. A whole lot more. All right, so now you guys are ready for the TA, right? And if you're interested in trading, right, you head over to the links in the description below, x.dj15.com, right? That's x.dj15.com. Let me just zoom this in so you can see all this. Boom, okay, boom. That's as far as we're gonna go, right? You can see all the list of exchanges here, right? You can see that where you are. This is wherever you are, it will show up in there where you're located. So let me do an example of that by heading to private with Tor. I'm in the Ukraine. How did I get there? That's right, because Tor blocks where I'm coming from. And it shows me exchanges that I can use based on the fact that I'm in Ukraine. There you go. Let's take a look at our trade. Our trade is doing well. Yeah, if you move your stops to break even, that'd be a smart thing to do. And because if we come back up, it's most likely there's a possibility that we're gonna pump all the way to $97,000 before we come back down. Now, this is the issue here, is that we've broken this uptrend, and now it's breaking down. It has to break below, of course, the $93,554 right there. You can see, and then we can see it continue to break down. Unfortunately, it is what it is, right? So we're holding those shorts and see what happens. Looking at Ethereum, right? Ethereum also broke its uptrend here. There's an uptrend right here. Let me just draw it out for you guys right here. Right, this is the bottom of the uptrend. There's the top of the uptrend right here, and we broke down, and we're trying to retest the lows. Now, here's the scary thing, right? Although they all look bearish currently, this one looks like bearish as F. If we zoom out, right, this looks like we are testing the lows, testing the lows, testing the lows too many times. The testing the 125, and now we've recovered and failed. Man, it looks lights out time for Solana. So, how to trade this? Well, I mean, the target, first top target, The major target is all the way at $63. That's a scary thing. That's going to take a while. But the short-term target, if we break, is clear. Jesus. It's all the way to $100. Probably a little bit lower. And that, my friend, if we do that, we're heading all the way to $63 eventually. May not go there right away, but we're heading there eventually. And this indicates a systemic breakdown is about to occur. So maybe, just maybe, you might want to sell a little bit of your Solana. Just saying. All right, so with that said, right, it is Bitcoin prices are going down, but they're not going to go all the way to 10K. This is just not going to happen. They're obviously putting FUD into the market, helping, and then the price is going to head down. But our macroeconomic situation is clear. We see that the Fed is printing money. We see that gold and silver is pumping. These are two monetary assets, right, that have monetary value and indicate that there's something wrong with the monetary system. And as that rises, and as those two assets rise and say, hey, watch me, I'm going up, wiping out, meaning that the currency is losing trust because, hey, there's too much fraud in the system. And so once that happens, right, and silver tops, gets to like at least maybe $200, $300 an ounce, that would slow down the run. But other people will go, well, shoot, man, I missed the train. What else is there that I can protect my wealth with? Oh, I wonder what they might think of. Well, if you know the answer to that one, leave it in the comment section below. Make sure you hit the like, hit the subscribe. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.